Okay, so it's 2 in the morning and I'm sitting in the bathroom whispering, I want to be a successful entrepreneur into my reflection. My husband is asleep in the next room and I'm literally looking at myself thinking like, girl, you are lying. And that was the truth. And exactly why I felt like a fraud. Because I had no business plan and zero proof that I was actually going to be able to pull it off. And that is when I started to realize something. Affirmations don't actually make you successful. They actually are complete bullshit, at least the way that the gurus are teaching them. Okay, it's not that affirmations themselves are total BS, but it's how you've been told to use them that is wrong. Because we've all been taught to treat them like they're fairy dust. And so today I'm going to break down the real science of affirmations and why they usually fail, how to use them instead, and the exact framework that helped me go from terrified employee to making $140,000 in my first year of business on my own to now pivoting and building my own coaching business completely from scratch. So if you've ever sat in front of a mirror saying words that you don't believe, this video is going to change everything. Hi, I'm Chelsea Wells, and as someone who grew up with massive poverty mindset that followed me into adulthood and sabotaged almost everything that I built, I know firsthand how critical having a strong money mindset is to building your business and the life that you actually want. On this channel, we talk about everything money psychology, building a successful business on your terms, and pivoting boldly in your 30s. Okay, I'm going to give you the quick version of how I figured this out. For 13 years, I had a corporate job that looked really good on paper. You know, benefits, steady paycheck, everything you're supposed to want. But every Sunday night, I would get so sick to my stomach knowing I had to go back for another full week of wasting my time when all I truly wanted was my own business, freedom, and success on my terms. So of course, I went down the YouTube manifestation rabbit hole, and affirmations seemed so good. Just like, say the words, change your life. So I tried it all. I did the mirror work. I kept affirmation cards in my purse, and I would even whisper them to myself quietly before I went to bed and at 2 in the morning when my husband was asleep and I couldn't. But here's what was really happening. Every single time I said that I'm a successful entrepreneur into the mirror, my brain was shouting back, no, you're not. You do not even have a business yet. Which makes sense because it was true. And so as time went on, the more I repeated, the worse I would feel. And eventually I would just give up. And so for a long time after that, I thought affirmations were a scam. That was until I dug deeper into psychology to understand what is actually going on in our brains. So let's talk about why affirmations don't work. So the problem is when you're sitting in the mirror and you say, I am rich, but you actually have $47 in your bank account and $2,000 in credit card debt, your brain is screaming back at you, BS. Your brain's bullshit detector is going off like a fire alarm. And this is called cognitive dissonance. When your words and your reality don't match, your brain starts to get really uncomfortable and it stops listening to you and it doesn't actually rewire your beliefs. Instead, what it does is it doubles down on the old ones because it's like, look, I have proof that this is true. And this is because your brain has a filter in it called the reticular activating system. And you can think of it kind of like a Google search. If you go and you type in, I'm broke, it is going to pull up every debt, every bill that you have, and show you every reason why money is hard for you to make. And that is why when you try and type in, I'm a millionaire, your brain rejects it because it's like, nope, I don't have any evidence for that. And on top of that, your nervous system thinks that lying to yourself is extremely dangerous. So you begin to get really stressed out. And this is why affirmations alone don't actually feel empowering. They actually feel fake and exhausting. And that is why affirmations fail for success. You aren't broken and you will be successful. You are just doing your affirmations wrong. So now you're probably like, cool, can you tell me how to do them right? Yes, let's get to it. Here's what works instead. And I like to call it evidence-based affirmations. And it is based on 3 simple principles: bridge beliefs, evidence stacking, and nervous system regulation. Let's break down bridge beliefs. We can't just jump from broke to billionaire because unless you win the lottery, it is not like that's the way that it happens for most of us. So we need to use bridge beliefs that our brain can accept. Think about a bridge. It helps you get from this place to the other. So instead of saying, I'm rich, we are going to say something like, I am learning how wealthy people think. And instead of saying, I'm successful, we are going to say, I am learning how to build wealth and success. For your brain, it's a lot easier to get from here to here when we are using affirmations that can help us see how we are getting to that space. Now let's talk about evidence stacking. Every single day, you want to create tiny proof to back up your bridge belief. So for I'm learning how wealthy people think, you can read one business book. And for I'm building the skills to become successful, you could start building your first online offer or even do something smaller. Maybe just track your money for the whole day. Small evidence is huge for your brain because it rewires your identity step by step. Okay, let's move on to nervous system regulation. Your affirmations should calm your nervous system and not activate panic. So I suggest trying dual affirmations instead. And these are going to look something like, I feel scared, but I'm taking action anyway. And I don't have all the answers, but I'm figuring it out. This helps your brain feel safe while it grows with you. Okay, now I want to share with you my 5-step framework that I use personally myself and with my coaching clients. And don't worry, all of this is going to be included in a Notion template that you can download down below in the description. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is a reality check. You are going to write down where you are actually right now. For me at the time, I was in a corporate job, so I would say I am working in a corporate job. I'm starting to build the skills to sell on Etsy. Number 2, you are going to identify your gap. So that is naming the limiting belief. For me, my limiting belief was that I couldn't build anything on my own. Number 3 is your bridge belief. So this is something that feels true but stretches you. For me, it would have been, I can get 5 listings up this week on Etsy to try and make an extra $2,000 this month. Number 4 is daily evidence. Do one small thing every day to prove your bridge belief. When I first started out, that was taking pictures for my listings, maybe writing the SEO description, little things like that I could do, in 20 minutes a day. Number 5 is anchor and amplify. Write down the proof each night. Something like, today I proved that I'm building skills by doing X. And that's it. That is how you rewire your brain for success. Not through magic words, but through belief, action, and proof. So now you know the truth. Affirmations don't work for success unless you use them the right way. And you know the right way because you have access to it down below in the Notion template. So here are your next steps. Grab the affirmation blueprint down below. It has a full evidence-based affirmation framework, a 30-day tracker, and the exact bridge beliefs that I use to start my business. Download my free Empire Rich playbook to start designing your dream business and life today, because limiting beliefs are not welcome here. And if you want one-on-one help applying this, then book an Empire Rich clarity call with me. I'll help you uncover your money blocks, create bridge beliefs, and walk away with an action plan. All links are in the description below. And of course, don't forget to hit subscribe so that you don't miss out on future videos. Because affirmations don't create success. Evidence does. And now you know how to create success for yourself.